Hey, thanks for stopping by. My name is Tim, and today I'm going to talk about the music CDs that I have from when I was much younger. It's been quite a long time since I've acquired any new music. I'd probably say about the time Napster came out is about when I quit acquiring music CDs. I don't know what the correlation is there. If you can figure it out, I don't know what it might be. But in any case, most of my music CDs were given to me as gifts or acquired through the secondhand market. I usually purchase things at pawn shops and yard sales and stuff like that. I wasn't really into paying full price for music discs. That's just not something I was ever into. But in any case, to start here, we have some nice Metallica albums. Like I think I've got at least all of their earlier albums. As you can see, the up through the Black album was when I quit actively buying their stuff. But if you look, it looks like I also have Load and Reloaded. So yeah, so those are in my collection as well. But in any case, the first, yeah, specifically, I'd say up through the Black album and prior to that, the best albums were definitely these three: And Justice for All, Master of Puppets, and Ride the Lightning. You got one on here, and Master of Puppets itself is very good with some other stuff, and then the songs on Ride the Lightning. If you go back and listen, like pretty much these albums are good cover to cover. Everything on them is just a solidly good song. Kill 'Em All. This is their early days, and I've mentioned in another video that Megadeth is one of my favorite bands, and this is when Dave Mustaine was still in the Metallica band before they had their falling out. But this album wasn't my favorite. The audio quality on it's just not the same. Just seemed like a little bit lower production value. And it shows in the album. There's certainly still some good songs on there, but just has a little bit less of a nostalgia for me compared to the other albums in that group. So yeah, and then looks like next here we've got Danzig. This was, you basically had. Looks like I have a number of his albums. I recall the song Mother is really good. Twist of Cain. I don't remember a lot of these other songs all that well. It's been quite a while since I've listened to Danzig with any kind of regularity. You got some Corrosion of Conformity here. This Deliverance album has a number of good songs on it. Albatross. Let's see here. Yeah, I can't. I think Broken Man was pretty good. Clean My Wounds was probably the best song on the album. But yeah, that's some good stuff. I think I saw them. If I recall correctly, they opened for Metallica. I believe the second time I saw Metallica. Oh, it looks like here is another Metallica album. This is a compilation album. I think this is a second hand. I don't know if this is an official album or if it's. Looks like it's. Maybe just produced somewhere else, but it's got the Garage Days and the Creeping Death and Jump in the Fire singles, if I recall correctly, on that guy. So let's see what else we got here. I'm just kind of going through these. They're not in any particular order. We've got some Nine Inch Nails here. Downward Spiral. This is the album with Closer on it. Let me think what else was on this. Another thing that's kind of interesting about this music collection of mine is I don't actually have the CDs anymore. I believe I had all of the CDs in one of those carrying cases, and at some point it just disappeared. I probably haven't seen that in at least a decade, maybe 20 years. I can't recall how long it's been since I've seen the actual albums for that go in these cases, but I held on to the cases because they're still sentimental to me. You got your Black Sabbath. This is, I believe, just a compilation disc with all the better tracks. But yeah, no, that's got a lot of good stuff. You got Paranoid and your Iron Maiden, War Pigs, lots of good stuff there. And we got Ozzy here. This is I know this one was a compilation CD. Got Osmosis. Yeah, Perry Mason, but yeah, this one has a lot of the classics. Goodbye to Romance and Crazy Train. Yeah, anything off of the Blizzard of Oz. I actually had Blizzard of Oz on vinyl. At one point, it's been quite a while ago, but I did have a collection of vinyl at one point, but that's long gone. I don't know where that is nowadays. And then it looks like next is some Guns N' Roses here. We got Lies. That was their first album. It's got, the Patience being probably the biggest track on there as far as the radio is concerned. One in a Million, Used to Love Her were both good songs. I remember Use Your Illusions 1 and 2. I used to fall asleep when I was a kid, probably in the 8th grade or so. I think I fell asleep to the song November Rain. I'd consider that probably my favorite song to this day. And I just probably for a good year straight, I fell asleep to that song every night. Stone Temple Pilots. This is the core album. I believe this is their first album, Dead and Bloated, and you got Creep, Plush. Let's see here. Yep, those Stone Temple Pilots was I wasn't like a huge fan of Stone Temple Pilots, but I do remember them, and they definitely have a lot of good albums or good songs. And then we've got some Typo Negative here. Bloody Kisses and October Rust. Bloody Kisses was their big album. You had Black Number One on here. Gosh, I don't remember. Oh, here's the list. Yeah, you got the cover of Summer Breeze was on here. Yep, and Christian Woman was a big one. And you got October Rust. This one, what is it? My Girlfriend's Girlfriend was like the big song on here. Cinnamon Girl was the one that was on the radio. Wolf Moon was a good song. Yep, lots of good stuff there. We got some Sepultura. This is Chaos AD. I've tried listening to some of the this album here for me. I really loved this album. You got Refuse Resist and Territory and I could listen to this album cover to cover, but then I don't know. I tried listening to some of Sepultura's other stuff. Could easily just be that I didn't like. I know they went through a handful of singers, and I wasn't as big of a fan of some of their other singers or what. But I know with Sepultura, it was really Chaos AD or bust for me on that band. Let's see here. What else do we got? We've got some Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power. This is the album that when they went big for me. You got New Level, Walk, effing Hostile. Let's try and keep it PG here a bit. This Love, these are all really good songs. These guys have just basically, as the title suggests, this is just a vulgar display of power. It's just a lot of violent, vulgar. If you want something high energy, Pantera, especially Vulgar Display of Power, is the way to go. I believe we've got some of their other albums. Looks like here we go. We've got Great Southern Trendkill and Far Beyond Driven. Yep. I believe 5 Minutes Alone is on this one, if I recall correctly. Yep. I'm Broken. Yep. Those are some good high energy songs, tracks. Then we've got some Soundgarden here. Soundgarden for sure. Super Unknown here was their best album for sure. But they also, this Bad Motorfinger here had Rusty Cage and Outshine, but this album, if you listen to Super Unknown, I don't think you can find a bad track on here. My Wave, Fell on Black Days, Black Hole Sun, Spoon Man. Day I Tried to Live, 4th of July. These almost every song on this album is just a hit and was just a great song. As I mentioned, yeah, we've already gone over that one, and then you got Down on the Upside. This was kind of you had Pretty News as a radio track. I didn't listen to this one anywhere near as much, but yeah, definitely Super Unknown and Bad Motorfinger there. Temple of the Dog. This album here, if you can go find this album or just get a copy of it and listen to it. This is Chris Cornell again, lead singer of Soundgarden. And his roommate passed away at some point, and when that happened, the band that he was the singer of got together with Chris Cornell, and you got a little bit of Eddie Vedder in here as well. I believe this actually probably is the birth of Pearl Jam, if I had to guess. But this whole album is just amazing. Say Hello to Heaven, Hunger Strike, some amazing songs here. So you should definitely check that one out. Just the raw emotion in this particular album is really good. Then you got Pearl Jam. Obviously, 10 is the album here that where they got really big, really well known. You got Once, Even Flow, like this one was just every song on here went on the radio. Alive, Black, Jeremy, Porch. I mean, all of this. This was just kind of a cover to cover radio songs, and basically just it's a really great album. Definitely holds up to this day. Vitology, obviously, this album didn't have anywhere near as many great songs on there. I really like the song "Spin the Black Circle." Not For You's okay, and this like Better Man I've never been a big fan of. So it's just kind of like this one was definitely like a much lesser album than 10 was, but it was still solid, And then you got Offspring. Let's start with Smash for Offspring. Smash is definitely their first huge album, and it looks like they're trying to mess with me here by having these tracks upside down. But yeah, you got Come Out and Play on here. Self-Esteem. Not the One I really like. I don't think that was ever a radio song, but I recall that one as being one I really liked. And this was just a really solid album. And then I also am a huge fan of Ixnay on the Hombre. Was their follow-up album. I could listen to this one cover to cover as well. I'd probably say Smash is the better album of the two, but Ixnay on the Hombre was definitely really high energy, just a solid set of songs. Gone Away being kind of the ballad song that was just really high emotion, great ballad on there. This is Ignition is one of their early albums. Probably a lot lesser known. The only track I recall on here was what was it, Burned Away, or I'm a Pyro. I can't remember the name of it, but there was some sort of pyro track on here that I liked. Burn It Up, that's what it was called. But this is one of their early albums, probably before they really hit it big. But it's still a good album. Let's see what else we got here. Oh man, the Crow soundtrack. Now this soundtrack like really made it so all of a sudden everybody was trying to do movie soundtracks and do good with movie soundtracks, because this one just was amazing. I don't think anybody when they made this soundtrack, I don't think they realized what they were getting into there, because you got The Cure and Stone Temple Pilots, Nine Inch Nails, Rage Against the Machine, Violent Femmes, Pantera, just so many big name bands to begin with. But even the ones that aren't big name bands are just amazing songs. I don't know some of these bands. I don't really know, but even after I recall Dead Souls being a great song on here. Slip Slide Melting, I believe, is the track that and if you haven't seen this movie, you should definitely check out this movie. But yeah, that was the track when they kind of broke into a concert in the middle of it, and that was just a great movie and a great soundtrack. Let's see, what else do we got here? Brother Kane. I mentioned these guys. This is the band that I saw open for Slash's Snake Pit. So that's where I heard from them. This let me see here. And Fools Shine On. That's probably the track I would check out. Obviously these I'm sure nobody's ever heard of these guys, but yeah, if you want to check it out, I would give it a listen. Then you've got Nirvana, Unplugged in New York. This album here came out several years after Nirvana was a really big thing. And basically Unplugged, this album made that series. It was just a phenomenal album. A lot of basically Unplugged covers of a lot of their best songs, as well as a handful of covers that were just like, The Man Who Sold the World was a David Bowie cover. And pretty much this is another one that you could listen to cover, and it's just a solid album. So then looks like we got some Alice in Chains in here. I actually have the CD for this one still. But yeah, no, I don't really know this particular album very well. This isn't like Alice in Chains, like for me is dirt, and I'm sure I'll hit that album sooner or later. But yeah, I know you've got a couple other albums of theirs that were really good. Jar of Flies was quite good. I actually had that on VHS, and I listened to that quite a bit in my car where I didn't have a CD player. Then we got some Pearl Jam here. I don't even remember the name of this particular Pearl Jam album. Let's see here. Oh, this is Versus. Okay, yep. Yeah, we got Animal, Daughter. Again, Elderly Woman Behind the Counter on a Small Town was also a great song. Definitely not as good as 10, but, they can't all be perfect. It's still a solid album. Let's see. What do we got here? This is Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dreams. This one, basically, this was another one of those that was all radio songs. You had Cherub Rock and Today and yep, I don't recall a lot. Disarm were good tracks on this album, but yep, that's obviously the cover or the booklet's missing there. But yeah, Siamese Dreams had a lot of good songs on it. And we got Tool. Tool was introduced to me by a guy in my auto shop class when I was a junior in high school. Yep, and this one, yeah, you got Sober and Undertow. The main radio songs on this. Tool has a lot of a lot of great tracks, but at the same time, it's kind of interspersed with just non-music. Sometimes throughout these albums, but in any case, this Tool album was really good. I would probably say Anima is their best album. I'm sure I'll hit to that one in sooner or later. This Alice in Chains Unplugged. I don't remember anything on this album. I probably didn't listen to it anywhere near as much compared to that Nirvana one. Like I said, with Alice in Chains, there's a couple of great albums, but I wouldn't consider this one of them. Then you got Pantera. This is I believe I believe this was just a compilation disc with a bunch of their songs on it. Yeah. Then didn't we already hit? Do I have 2 copies of Vitology? That's interesting. I don't know why I would have 2 copies of this album, but apparently I do. Then you got here's Facelift and Jar of Flies. These are both a couple of Alice in Chains albums. So let's see here if we. Rotten Apples, Nutshell, I Stay Away, No Excuses, all great songs on this Jar of Flies. Facelift. I don't remember Facelift. Man in the Box is a great song. Love Hey Love. ones you might want to check out. But this, I don't think Jar of Flies, or I'm sorry, Facelift, I don't think was as quite as quality of an album as some of their other ones. All right, let's see what we got here. The next stack here, we have Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. This is one that I would assume that most people aren't going to be familiar with. He's got this song called Red Right Hand. That's really good. Most of his other stuff, I've listened to some of this, and it's been quite a while, so I can't say I recall too much about Nick Cave, but it looks like I had a couple of his albums. Let's see. I remember the Mercy Seat being a pretty good song. Like I said, if you want to check out Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, I would go straight to Red Right Hand. Go find that album. The Spaghetti Incident. This album, I don't have any fond memories of. I'm pretty sure it was just a steaming pile of poo as far as albums go. Obviously, when you're talking Guns N' Roses, you're really talking Appetite for Destruction, and the Use Your Illusions and stuff like that. Their older stuff, Sympathy for the Devil. This I believe is just a single. It was the Sympathy for the Devil cover was really cool. But this is just basically, it was a song they made for Interview with the Vampire, the movie, which was a solid movie as well. If any of you guys, I probably haven't seen that one in a couple of decades, but I remember that. What do we got here? Another Guns N' Roses album, The Garden. Is this? I'm not sure what this is. This is probably maybe something from before they were big, if I had to guess. But yeah, if I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this one is. You can see, if I've got the album still in the case, it's because I never really listened to it or didn't care enough to keep it with me whenever I was carrying my CDs around. Let's see here. What is this? I don't even know what this is. So yeah, I guess we'll skip over this. I can't make it out. Black Sabbath. It's a Black Sabbath album. Okay. And then we're getting into some Megadeth. Oh man, and as I've mentioned, Megadeth is a band I'm a really big fan of. Killing Is My Business. Honestly, their first couple albums, some people think they're the greatest ever. I personally thought they were kind of low quality crap. Once you get to Rust, there's obviously a couple of good songs on here, but once you get to Rust in Peace for Megadeth, man, oh man, that's just amazing. But let's go ahead and we'll skip over these early albums because, like I said, they're just not my favorite. Oh, I don't know what this is. This is Falling Apart. Looks like it's a Sad But True single for Metallica. This is some more Typo Negative. Origin of the Feces, which, yep, that's like I said with Typo Negative. You want to check out the album Bloody Kisses. That album was phenomenal. Nirvana. This is the album that made them big. Smells Like Teen Spirit. I'm sure everybody's heard that song. In Bloom, Come As You Are, Breathe Lithium. Yep, all those were definitely radio tracks that shot this band up. As far as that whole Seattle grunge scene, there was a lot of great bands that came out of that, and Nirvana is the one that got the most attention. Let's see here, the next stack here. What do we got here? Jethro Tull. As I mentioned in my video about concerts, I did go see these guys, and you got Aqualung is on this. Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die was also a nice track. Some other classic rock. You got Jimi Hendrix with Purple Haze. Voodoo Child, and let's see what other. Yep. So yep. Jimi Hendrix is. I'm not as big into classic rock as I was back then, so I don't recall these ones as much. But yeah, definitely Suspicious and Voodoo Child and obviously Purple Haze, big tracks there. Excuse me. This one's Skid Row. Honestly, I didn't really listen to Skid Row much. Looks like this is some sort of a single. I'm not sure why I would even have this, but it's here in my collection. Depeche Mode. Believe it or not, I actually quite like Depeche Mode. Their they're not in the same genre as all these other bands we're listening to, but yeah, I recall listening to quite a bit of Depeche Mode. Um, yeah. Looks like I've got, what is this, Songs of the Faith, and I don't know what the name of this album is. Let's see if it's on the side here. No, it's just labeled Depeche Mode, and that's about it. So we'll go ahead and skip over those. Let's see here. This is a band called James. I had a girl that was a good friend of mine in high school that was big into these guys. So I picked up this album at some point. There's a lot of, this is a much slower band. The song Out to Get You, I remember really liking that song. It's just kind of a melodic, just, emotional song. Say Something is just kind of a little bit more upbeat song on this album. This is the Laid album, which I think Laid is probably the one that was on the radio. That if anybody's ever heard of this band, it's because of that. But I believe I've only got the one album here, but I believe they just had a million albums. These guys just put out album after album after album, if I recall correctly. We got some Doors action here. Break On Through, obviously. Light My Fire, some stuff you should check out if you've never listened to the Doors. They were obviously, this is more of the classic rock, so these guys would have been really big way before my time. But I'm familiar with some of the classic rock and stuff. Oh, and then you've got this Megadeth. This is Countdown to Extinction. I remember this is the first album I heard of theirs. I probably never really listened to or knew who Megadeth was until this album came out. But yeah, like this album it's another one of those just cover to cover amazing albums. Symphony of Destruction, Architecture of Aggression, Foreclosure of a Dream, Sweating Bullets. This Is My Life. Yeah, I can probably recommend every one of these songs. They're Ashes in Your Mouth. Oh man, like just. This is just a solid album. I would probably say Megadeth has a bit of an acquired taste as far as the vocals are concerned, but just the audio, the technical skill involved in the music, and the lyrics are just outstanding. So yeah, I would check them out. Looks like I had another album by James. I don't think I could even comment on what was on in this album. I do remember the Laid album, but I don't remember this one at all. And you got some more Alice in Chains in here. And we got Filter. These guys kind of hit it big, and I don't know if I'd consider them a one-hit wonder, but they definitely came in with Hey Man, Nice Shot. I believe it was a song about a guy who took his own life on live television, but it came out right around the same time and hit it big right around the same time Kurt Cobain passed away. So I believe there's a correlation there, not necessarily. They didn't make the song about Kurt Cobain, but the society kind of picked it up as that, and so it kind of hit it big as a really big, well-known song at that time. Then you got some Scorpions. This is another classic rock. The Winds of Change is a really great ballad on this album. I'd go check that out. I don't like Rock You Like a Hurricane was their other one that people know nowadays. Is, if I had to guess, it doesn't look like that one's on this album, but yeah, like that's something you can go check out. Let's see what else we got here. We're getting close to the end. Looks like 2 more stacks of these things here. So what do we got? Oh, Cryptic Writings. Yep, Cryptic Writings was another great album. Trust, Almost Honest. We're both like really Secret Place. I really liked She-Wolf. If you ever have an opportunity to go check out like the live version of She-Wolf, the version that they put on the record was kind of they made it to be a radio version, whereas like whenever they do it live, it's like this 10-minute long, just amazing slugfest of guitar solos and stuff. It's just pretty darn good. You should check that out. Then you got Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? This kind of doesn't quite fall into the category for me of their early albums that just didn't sound very good. Obviously, the song Peace Sells is great. Black Friday was good. Wake Up Dead, and there's some good tracks on this one. But it again, it does fall into the pre Rust in Peace for me, which is what it is. A lot of, like I said, there's some diehard fans that really like that stuff, but for me, it really starts with Rust in Peace. Bush, Little Things. This is probably just the single, it looks like, and yep. I mean, it's not somebody I listen to regularly anymore, but back in the high school days, these guys just hit it really big. Lita Ford, I believe I bought this album just for the Ozzy Osbourne collaboration. What is it? Close My Eyes Forever. Yep, that track is outstanding. It's just a collaboration between Lita Ford and Ozzy Osbourne. I couldn't name another Lita Ford song if I had to, but yeah, that song is great. And we got this Saturday Morning Cartoons Greatest Hits. This is kind of an interesting one. It's basically a bunch of bands from the time covering Saturday morning cartoons. The one I remember the most is Sponge's Go Speed Racer Go. Then a lot of these other ones were just, I mean, there's some cute songs on here, but nothing that's really going to get you going. But it's still an interesting piece of history. Let's see here. Then we got U2's The Joshua Tree. That album, I mean, I know a lot of people don't really care for U2 politically. They kind of rub a lot of people the wrong way. But this album, I'll tell you, you can listen to this one cover to cover as well, and it's just got it won't disappoint. So yeah, that's something I would go check out. Let's see here. Then what do we got here? This is Tool. This is their Autumn album. This is my favorite album by Tool. It looks like we're missing the actual cover here. Oh yeah, so you have, I don't know if that'll pick it up on the camera, but Autumn is kind of about, California falling off into the ocean is the kind of the theme of that album, and they've got that displayed in the album cover there. I don't remember what the art was on the actual cover. It's been quite a while, but yeah, check out if you don't mind profanity and a little bit of controversy. I would check out the song Autumn itself is definitely one of my favorite on this. But there's a lot of great tracks on this album. Let's see, what do we got here? Metal Church. This is not a band I was ever into. I'm not sure why I have their album, but they were a heavy metal Christian band from back in the day. Yep, I couldn't name one of their songs at this point, but we'll just go ahead and set that on the stack. Faith No More, again, not a band I really listened to. I think I saw them open up for Pantera, but yeah, I don't know much about them. They had, what was the one that they were known for was some sort of almost a rap song. Kind of a cute thing there. This is Marilyn Manson. Obviously, he was really big on the radio back in the day. This is also another one that was kind of, he's got some decent stuff here, but it's just kind of vulgar for the sake of being vulgar, which is yeah, it is what it is. I think the big one for him, what was that? Sweet Dreams. Was that cover he did of that. I don't even know, I remember some of these names of these songs, but yep, not a band or an artist that I listen to a lot, but I'm still familiar with them. Oh no, this album here, this one is something you guys should check out. This is called Nativity in Black. It's a tribute to Black Sabbath. And it's a bunch of Black Sabbath songs covered by some great bands: Megadeth, White Zombie, Sepultura, Corrosion of Conformity, Ugly Kid Joe, Faith No More, Typo Negative. These were just some great songs. I really liked the Children of the Grave cover by White Zombie was just outstanding. The Sepultura Symptoms of the Universe by Sepultura was great. Then you had, the War Pigs by Faith No More. This was a live, and halfway through the song, he just forgot the words. It was really amusing. But yeah, and then you got your Paranoid with Megadeth on here. That was a good track. This was a really just a great album, honestly, of covers by big name artists covering Black Sabbath songs. I really enjoyed that. All right, now we're in the home stretch here. Let's see. Here we go. Euthanasia. I loved this album as well. Train of Consequences was one of my favorites. But yeah, Reckoning Day, Elysian Fields, I really liked. The song Euthanasia itself, the cover track, is quite good. I Thought I Knew It All. I remember that one really fondly. So yeah, has a lot of fond memories for me there too. Then we got, what's this? Oh, the Wayne's World. I don't know what else on here. Oh, Bohemian Rhapsody, of course, by Queen. I'm guessing the rest of this is just junk. I mean, you got Foxy Lady by Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that, but yep. Then we got Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe. This was a little bit after my time with Rob Zombie. I remember I was pretty resistant to Rob Zombie at first. His main radio song just sounded like him saying yeah over and over again, and it kind of put me off. But I came around eventually, and definitely like a lot of his music. Hellbilly Deluxe, I believe that was the one with what is Dragula and Super Beast. Definitely some great tracks, but yeah, some of his earlier albums I definitely was a bigger fan of. More Human Than Human, as I mentioned, was the one that was just the Yeah Factory as far as I'm concerned. But but it's still like you had was it yeah, I can't, I'm not sure if I remember any of these other things. So what's this? This is a Simpsons album. I don't even know why I have this. I mean, I was a fan of the Simpsons at the time, so I'm guessing that was it. But yeah, this is just probably a bunch of cutesy stuff off of their off the TV show for the Simpsons. Here's another soundtrack for Dazed and Confused. This is a bunch of classic rock, all rolled into a single album that I picked up at some point. Empire Records. This movie most people probably never heard of. It's kind of a cutesy teen movie. Bunch of it's got who's this? Liv Tyler, who's more of you probably know her from Lord of the Rings. But yeah, I haven't seen this one in a couple of decades, and I don't recall what all songs are on the album. But I do remember this movie, and it's probably one that nobody else has ever heard of. Oh, we got some Ozzy. This is Blizzard of Oz. This is a remastered of his first album there. But yeah, looks like I still actually have the CD for that one. But this is a great album. I'm surprised that I actually still have the CD. I would have expected it to be in with my other ones. You got Crazy Train on here. I don't know. Let's see here. Yep, Mr. Crowley. Yep. Some pretty good tracks on there to check out. But yeah, definitely probably worth checking out here. The Beavis and Butthead Experience. Oh, this is basically crude, stupid humor from the 90s. That's all Beavis and Butthead is. It's the MTV, but they had a lot of big names on the Beavis and Butthead Experience here. I remember the 99 Ways to Die from Megadeth. It looks like a White Zombie is on here as well, and Nirvana and Anthrax, and so yeah, some definitely some good tracks. I would probably say the Megadeth track is the one that would get me the most for 99 Ways to Die. There, I remember that one. It was good, definitely a good track there. Then we got Led Zeppelin 2, another classic rock. Let's see, I think Led Zeppelin 4 is where you have Stairway to Heaven. 2, it looks like you've got, let's see, Live and Love and Made and Ramble On. We're a whole lot of love. Yep, this one has a couple of good tracks on it for sure. Let's see here. What is this? This is Jägermeister Music Volume 2. Obviously, this is still in the cellophane wrap, probably a collector's item, I'm sure, nowadays, I'm guessing. But it's got some names on here. Drowning Pool and Pantera, and I never really listened to them, but there's ICP on here, Insane Clown Posse. Cold Chamber made it. Let's see. Uh, yeah, I'm not too familiar with most of these other bands. Um, there's Head PE. They kind of made it big at some point, but yeah, there's just a bunch of random stuff on that. That's kind of cute. So then we got Godsmack Awake. It looks like I picked that up for a grand total of 50 cents, probably at a yard sale. I don't know if this is their. Let me see here. Awake. Um, Going Down, I think was a known song. This is clearly not their main one that has all their radio songs on there, but yeah, this is another album. But in any case, looks like I've gone through the entire stack of albums now and gotten a good preview of what I listened to back in the late '90s and early 2000s, before other means of acquiring music started to become well known and popular. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to like and subscribe, feel free to do that. And I hope you have a good day.